heard this song and I was like, figured it'd be a fun way to start jamming, start the day. You know, how has everyone been? Hopefully decent. You guys ready to talk about some offers today? It's gonna be so good. And I'm so appreciative of everyone in the different time zones. I know it is 7 o'clock for Dorit and Deb, and Christina, I think it's 9 for you? Yeah, okay. Thank you guys. I'm so glad. Amber, I don't know what time zone you're in.
Mountain, so 8 a.m.
Oh my gosh, welcome. It's so good.
I got my breakfast with me too, so I'm ready to go.
Perfect. Everyone make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're caffeinated and notes up and ready to roll. We're going to give, I think that I've got one more person joining. So I'm going to, Stephanie said that she's going to try and make it today. So, sorry, it's a horn solo. We got to respect the good solo in here. Okay, so let's talk about creating high value offers. Before we get started with that, I wanted to check in and see how has it been going for everyone? How are you finding I know that we have gotten a lot of thought work been going on. Amber, I haven't had a chance to check yours, but I think I've checked everybody else's that submitted it. Is there any questions about how the classwork thing works, making sure that you have access to your systems after you submit them? I'm returning them. So it's like, I hope that should be helpful. Are there any questions there? Are we feeling wonderful?
So we don't submit our thought work every day. It was just that first time.
This is the first time so I can get an idea of what kind of like I'm getting to know y'all's self-concept really well, which is so much fun. And so I want to make sure that that continues. And so if you have any questions from here on out, just post in here and being like, okay, Dorit, amazing. Seeing how everyone's doing. I love that. I want to keep things like that, checking in with people. Cause this, again, like I said last week, this is going to be our family for the next 5 months. We are going to be so close. I follow people on Instagram and things like that, and making sure that you're building those connections outside of it, because who knows, we might start doing some cross referrals. If someone knows a curvy girl in need of dating, who do they need to call? Christina. It's finding those connections, I think, will be really helpful. Or a perimenopausal woman in need of some weight loss, they're gonna call you, Deb. So it's those are the kind of things that we want to start building as we kind of grow this community. So I'm glad to hear all that's been going well. I think at 8 a.m. this morning, I uploaded your it should be System 2 core pillars. So this is going to be, it's going to upload every morning, the day before or the day of at 8 a.m. So you can take a quick peek, but I don't want to overwhelm everybody because there's a lot to cover. And I'm sure you guys experienced maybe having to rewatch last week's session. We're not fucking around. We're moving, we're grooving. It's going to be good. But I want to make sure that we don't groove too quickly. I don't want you guys looking at financial planning, that's week 13 to do financial projections for the year, because it's just going to stress your nervous system out completely unnecessarily. So today we're going to be talking about the core pillars for your business. But first, before we understand what core pillars are, we got to craft a high value offer. So if anyone else has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I also just clicked in the Google Forms. So after, and I'll reshare that link as well. But after, when we take our 30-minute break, while you are doing your core pillars, which some of you guys already have and are just refining, I would love to see how you guys are doing. That is it for now. I've got lots of thoughts, but let's dive in. So when you are thinking about crafting a high value offer, also, I love everyone's video. Like, it's so nice to actually see your faces, because so many times when I'm doing webinars, I feel like I'm just talking to myself and it's like, hey, and it's nice to have people to like bounce off of. So today we are going to make a lot of decisions. And I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget to tell you all the things that are in my brain. So what happens is, if you can make decisions extremely quickly and effectively, it is going to change your experience as an entrepreneur. One of my clients, he's incredible, and he owns Bitcoin News. And so because he's been able to, within the past 2 years, his business has grown to $10 million. And now I see why. It's because he literally, like, he'll have an idea while he's cooking steak at dinner. He'll tell his team about it, like on Friday night. He'll tell his team in like London about it. And then by Sunday, they already have people on it. Again, working on the weekend is like a company policy there, that it's only if they enjoy it, but like they will have something ready and a pitch ready to go by Monday morning if he hasn't thought about it. Like, and a whole team dedicated to it. And it's like, oh, it's because he can be like, that's a good idea. Let's go with it. Let's move. So what we want to do is, these are going to be good ideas that will be refreshed. And I'm going to talk to you about like how pretty much everyone except for Amber and Sarah experienced the consult about how you're going to have a process that's just going to continue to improve with time. None of this is set in stone. None of this is going to be something that you keep completely. But my goal for everyone is that we are going to decide things today that you will keep just for 5 months. You're going to you already have, I think we have the pricing of your offer. We have the timeline of your offer. Now we're just going to refine some pillars for that offer. And then we're not going to change it. The only time when you're going to change that offer will be if you come to fully booked with the number of clients that you're looking for. So only time we will change the offer. Or if you have like this, like, if you're like, Megan, I really want to change my offer, we're not going to change it just for this 5 months, just for this round. And then, because it's going to be very hard to analyze and evaluate what is working, what isn't working just yet, or what needs to be improved and what we need to do differently if you keep changing like the offer. It's like, okay, well, I was offering this, but then I changed from 3 months to 6 months, and I changed this price. Then I also like kind of decided that I really wanted to add relationships to this, even though I do careers, but like I just felt really good about it right now. And it's like, whoa, first off, your audience is going to be confused. And then we're not going to be able to have like a good sample size to actually see if this is working. So give me a thumbs up if that sounds good for everybody. Cool. So B- work, just like with this mastermind. Your goal is to organize, just like figure out 16 baseline systems. My goal is not, again, if you would like to do the money back guarantee, do thought work every day. But my goal is not that you are beating the crap out of yourself if you're not doing thought work every single day. My goal is also so that you, I love that. My goal is also that you are feeling very, like you just have a very, like a general knowledge of what a business needs to be functioning, but it's not that everything is absolutely perfect. And your consults were an example of that. So if Amber and Sarah got to experience the nice, lovely, like refined business, but when I was doing consults with most of you, and trust me, we're going to make you some nice little Google Drives just like that. But I think I put like a star by it because I was like, yeah. So most people, when they came to do a consult with me for something I want to just let you know is called the Business Fulfillment Mastermind, I thought of the idea for the name of the Business Fulfillment Mastermind because I was on a walk and I was like, I need to call this something to get people in. I don't know what to call it. I'm just blanking, but I know this is something that will help people. Maybe you guys are in the same place where you're like, I know coaching or consulting is going to help people. It's going to make their lives better for sure. The problem is Then you're like, okay, I've got to think of a name. I've got to think of something that's like really creative and clever. You don't, because every single one of you guys joined first. And I was like, okay, instead of the career fulfillment initiative, I was like, well, it's for businesses. So business, there we go. And then instead of initiative, I was like, well, they should know it's a group. So mastermind. Like literally, I was like, this is good enough. It's good enough to get it out there to the world, to you 10 amazing people that needed it. So what I want you to do is like, no, it's not going to be perfect. And then another example of B- work is that like, I was trying to figure out, I thought I was going to talk about like mindset, money, time, and planning. And I was trying to make this relate. And I was like, really trying. I was like, revenue goals. When most of you guys were like, where am I at right now? You were like, did I hit my goal? What does goals even mean, Megan? And I was like, we're just going to keep with it. And I stuck with it for all of you guys, except for, again, Sarah and Amber. But confidence, money, your business, and stress management, two very different things. It's like, that didn't really make sense. Systems for time and financial. You might feel great about time and feel terrible about finances. Future planning your ability to achieve your goals. Like, that didn't make any sense. Not at all. So now my business transformation blueprint is the 6 pillars that you are using in your weekly progress report. And now instead of the business fulfillment mastermind, I'm pretty sure I'm going to rebrand to 6-figure systems. A lot makes more sense. You know, it's like, it's better. And I might change it again. Who knows? But it's like getting something out there into the world that is good enough to start helping people now. That's what we want to do. So again, and again, this is why, like when I do, yesterday, I finished my application for the mastermind that I do, and it's going to be my 3rd round. Hopefully if she takes me, fingers crossed, love Stacy. But that's why I've done 3 rounds of my mastermind of the mastermind with her, because it just keeps getting better with each iteration. So you can always do multiple rounds just like I do. So we're going to talk about problem with your offers, why the less is more approach will get you sales. And then we're going to narrow it down to one simple offer. You might have other things that you might be doing, but for the sake of this mastermind, I want to focus in on creating the best offer for you and your clients. We're going to decide the timeline and pricing, and you're going to name it all in today. Pretty good, right? So a confused mind says no. And if you have too many decisions, too many offers, will end up creating decision fatigue for you. And so what we want to do is we want to give your prospective customers something they want and something they love buying for you. And simple sells, like I said here. So when we are crafting your high value offer, I want to know, what problem does your product solve? How are you going to solve this problem for them? Who are you solving the problem for? And why is it important that their problem is solved? So I want you to kind of just think about that for a second. And I wonder if there's a way I can like, I want to make sure that I have pricing. Well, don't open up the document just yet, because I don't think I have pricing and timeline on the document. So, but I think that I want you guys to think about like who this offer is for, where are they? We're going to talk about that later, but like, where can you find your people? And again, progress over perfection. It's important that we are not being perfectionists here. Perfectionism, as the person who runs the life coach school says, she says it's for scared people. I think that is true. I think it's just for people who are afraid to get their message out into the world. So speaking of the business fulfillment initiative and mastermind, initiative is my one-on-one, mastermind is a group. And I knew I wanted to help people create simple, successful, and enjoyable businesses. That's what I do. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to teach you how to refine a strong foundation. I'm going to teach you how to simplify your systems. I'm going to teach you how to launch a profitable product and plan for a fulfilling future in your business. And I was like, who this works for? It works best for solopreneurs who have side hustle or startups. And why? It's like you're going to manage your mindset, resources, and methods for you to truly enjoy your business. Does that all land for everybody? Seeing that mine is an example of that. Cool. So when we're thinking about the timeline of your offer, I want you to picture about that who it's for. I want you to think about that person that you would love to work with. They would be an amazing hell yes client. And I want you to think about how long it would take for them to get the results that you're thinking of promising. And I have promising in there loosely, but it's like, I want you to think about how long it would take for them to get the results, whether it's losing weight, dating, stopping overeating, whatever it is, how long would it take? And then I want you to add a little. So it's like, if you think it's going to take them 3 months, maybe make it 4, because we want to make sure that you include time for those. I was talking with Dorit about this yesterday in our one-on-one. It's like, she's got 5 core pillars. And so she's like, should I make it 5 months instead of 6 months? And I always like to have like a little stabilization time. Like, I think that I can help people in their business in 4 months. I'm like, I think I can get in there in 3 months. I'm like, I know that like having these systems and structures, definitely going to get you there. If you haven't noticed, for this mastermind, there are only 16 systems, but there are 20 sessions. So I've intentionally included 4 extra sessions. And actually, I think I miscounted. So it's actually 5 extra sessions just to help you guys stabilize. Now, will we be having guest speakers? Potentially, that might be on the radar. Are we going to have like just time for us to brainstorm together? Yes. But I want to make sure I included that in my offer. So that's how you figure out your duration. And if your duration has changed since our consult, that's okay. I just want you to decide on something today, and then we're going to move forward with it. Then we want to think about what would be an undercharge. What would be a complete steal for you? You're like, oh my God, this would be crazy for people not to get to buy from me. Like, that would be nuts. And what feels really easy for you to sell. So like, if you're like, it would be an undercharge to charge $10,000 for this, it's like, I feel like for this mastermind in particular, I'm like, I think this is worth 5K. Like, for sure. I'm like, I don't think that anyone is going to get less than 5K worth of value from this. However, I was like, it would be insanely easy for me to sell this at 2,500. I was like, this feels great to me. I'm like, I know that they're going to get at least $2,500 worth of value. Great. Let's go with it. And then the next thing is you want to think about how you're going to over deliver. You want to give your customer even more than they're expecting, so they're referring and coming back to you. And what I mean by that is, like, you might tell them like, hey, like, undercharge and under promise is another way that you can think about it. Cause like, it's like, yeah, like you guys are going to have like the systems for your business. Like, that's an under promise. What you don't see is that like, you're going to create this community. You're going to get me looking at every single thing that you have in your business. You're going to have all these clients coming in. I'm not promising that everyone's going to like sell out like 20 clients. I'm like, oh yeah, but you will have the systems in place to do so. Do I think it's going to happen? Yes. And that's why it's an over deliver, that it's like, oh my God, like, this is awesome. I wasn't even expecting to be able to like really sell out my offer. And now I'm doing that. So that's the way I want to like think about this program. And that's the way I want you guys to think about your programs too. Then we also want to think about naming that offer. So whatever you think about the length, the time, and it doesn't matter really what it is. Again, you all signed up for the Business Fulfillment Master. Not really sure what that was supposed to mean, but it sounded good. And I didn't want to promise a money number. So I was like, this works, we're fulfilling. So it's like, you want to create a movement around your offer so that people can identify with it. And this is something that I got from a program I did last year called Online Coach Accelerator, where Dorit and I met. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about like who it's for, and then an adjective to describe them, and the ultimate result in time frame and cost. So it could be like 200K mastermind. That's the mastermind that I'm in. The Profitable Yoga Boss group. That's my first coaches group. The Get Over Your Ex program. That's what I did this past March. The Career Fulfillment Initiative. That was my old program. So I came up with some examples last night and I put them in the wrong order. So within your naming, you could think about like who it's for. So some of you guys I've talked to, it's like moms, Christian people and women, coaches, like those could be who it's for. And then an adjective could be like perimenopausal, curvy girl, ambitious. Like it doesn't need to be something that's like, oh, for sure. It's like the college students guide, if you wanted to go that route, or like the millennials guide, like something like this. And then like an ultimate result or program. So it could be like the initiative, the system, the process, like something like that. And they say 2 to 3 words is helpful. So like keep it simple. If you can't think of 2 to 3 words and you need to have a longer name, doesn't matter. But I want you to have just something that's like more than like coaching with them. It's like, I want you to have like a little bit more of like, it's like something that makes you stand out. So then what we're going to do, first off, how is everyone feeling about naming, duration and price point? Are there any questions? Sweet. All
I
right.
have a question real quick.
Yeah, Amber, what's up?
How can we tell the difference between, like, my program's 6 results in 6 months, but I'm not sure if that's just me.
I was plugging my.
In it.
I don't know if that's just me doubting my clients or if it's like actually they only need 6 months. Like I'm like, they probably could do it in 6 months, but I'm like, maybe they need 7 or 8 months. But how do you tell if that's just me doubting their ability to do it in 6?
I think it's using strategic pessimism to your benefit. So I think that it's like, okay, I think it could take them 6 months, but I want to make sure that I over deliver for everybody. So that's when you could be like, I'm going to make it an 8-month program. My first program was 10 months. I love long programs. Like I'm not against them. A lot of people have thoughts about them. Deb is a whole year. So it's like, and I think that's great. Like, I love that. I love short programs too, but I'm like saying like, I don't think that longer could ever hurt you.
Mhm.
So does that help? What do you think now?
Well, I'm having drama come up about no one's gonna buy it if it's longer than 6 months because they're too scared to commit then, and then they don't really know what they're getting into. So they're like, it's gonna seem too long for them to commit to longer to 6 months.
Okay. So that is where we're going to coach on. And I want you to hold those thoughts, write them down. Okay. Write down those thoughts. That's a place for you to do thought work. And we're going to bolster, I'm going to teach you how to build belief in those areas to be like, okay, why would someone want that over this? Not over it, but being like, why would that be better for them? Why would it be better for them to get more results? Like the only thing that's stopping them from buying that is your thoughts about it,
Mhm.
which is crazy. But it's like, for me, it is like, a lot of people were like 10 months. They were like, that's an obscure amount of time. And I'm like, well, it was the length of a school year. So that's why 10 months. I was like, I thought I was going to coach kids. A lot has changed in the past 2 years, but it's like at this time 2 years ago, I was coaching children. So it's like thinking about like your business will change and grow, but you want to just make sure that like you've got something that you're like, I know I could over deliver for them.
Okay.
That's more important than we'll work on creating thoughts for them to be like, this is a hell yes offer.
Okay.
Okay.
Put a pin in it.
Putting a pin in it. Awesome. Deb.
I'm just realizing, as I think about this, that my women, I think of them as specifically in their age group, but not so much specifically in the amount they want to lose. So that's going to change.
I think that's good for you've that's a niche, I think already.
Okay. But I mean, it will change like if they're going to hit their goal in that amount of time, I guess.
I see.
So like if you have somebody wanting to lose 20 pounds and maintain it as opposed to, and I think I'm assuming my people are like 20 to 30 pounds. So that's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to someone who wants to lose 100.
So what I do is I guarantee, we're going to talk about next week about intangibles, that they will learn how to lose weight, but not necessarily a number.
Okay. So that they can take this and keep going or re-up if they want.
I didn't promise when I was doing career coaching that you will have a new job or get a promotion or like have like get a pay raise, like all those specific things. But I
Okay.
did promise, which is my core 4, I was like, I know you will know how to overcome burnout. Will you be completely burnout free by the end of my program? No, because burnout is a part of life, but you're going to
No.
know how to overcome it. You're going to know
Okay.
how to manage your time. Is your time going to feel perfectly managed all the time? No, but will know how to do it. So we're going to talk more about the skills versus a specific number amount. Even when I do 6-figure systems, I'm going to guarantee that you have the systems in place to scale to 6 figures. But in 5 months, I'm never going to guarantee that you're going to hit 6 figures in 5 months.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's actually a perfect segue, if no one else has any questions, to the core pillars. Anybody else I just want to check in? Awesome. So good to see everybody. I was just like looking at everyone's picture. Carrie, I missed you. It's good to see you.
Megan, I just really quick, I know I missed, hi everyone, I'm Carrie. I missed the first class yesterday. I'm sneaking in today. I'm like, I have to come. I really want to come. But did everyone go over like what they do? I'm just so curious.
No, but what I think I'm going to do for today, while you guys are doing
Okay.
independent work, is I'm going to create a spreadsheet for everyone to share their name, who they like, coach, things like that, Instagram, email,
Okay.
and phone number, so that everyone can
Okay,
have
cool.
contact. If you guys start group text, like include me in it, because I think it'd be fun. But like,
Yeah.
if you have to,
Okay, cool. I want to make sure because I was like, oh, I of course want to support everyone, and I'm just genuinely
Yes.
interested in what everyone does. Okay, that was
good
it.
idea. And we can also like, maybe have like a promotion, like a day where like, honestly, at this point, like if you guys are promoting stuff, like we'll start talking about like how to do webinars and like I'm
Oh,
doing your Black Friday thing. So it's like
yeah.
we can also have like a space for that. So like if you're like, hey, can you reshare this post? Like can you reshoot? Like
Oh,
I
I love
would
that.
love to do that so you guys can all start cross like, I mean, I was gonna say cross contamination, but like
Cross sell in a way. I know what you meant.
like, it's better. There's another word for it, but yeah, I want to definitely make sure we're all doing that, because
Okay,
everyone is
cool.
like doing something different. And like, even though um like Shanna and is doing weight loss as well, like it's like a very different niche. Like it's like you're perimenopausal, she's Christian woman, so it's like even within that you're still specific. So
Cool.
moving forward, core pillars are coming. You guys ready? Now, I used to call it the core 4. If you are used to that lingo, keep it. But the core pillars are just the pillars behind your business. And I realized that calling it the core 4 was stifling my creativity and I think what my people needed. So that's why I just made it the core pillars. Some of you might have a core 3, some of you might have a core 6. Doesn't matter the number that it is. I wouldn't go more than 6 because we're going to use it for marketing, and to have like a month and a half of marketing, I think is a solid amount. Like I think doing like an 8-pillar program might just be a lot. So, but we'll talk about it in your one-on-ones. If you haven't already scheduled it, definitely make sure you schedule it. But we're going to use it to market, or I use it to sell it. And just like I hinted with Deb, you're going to talk about this and you're going to track this for your clients to deliver. So here is how I like to start it. How I learned this concept was through my 200K mastermind that I'm in. And that is not a thing that I've created. PSPR is Stacy's way of talking through people's core 4, but the concept or core pillars, for me, it just helped me to understand my business so much more. So what you're going to do is I like to start, and I'll show you what the PSPR is. Okay, so problem, solution, process, result. The problem is when this is occurring for your ideal client. The solution is what they will know, learn, and understand by working with you. The process is how, and the result is why. So before I even knew about PSPR or the core pillars or anything like that, I knew that I wanted to teach an unintentional model to an intentional model. That's what all of you guys learned last week, how to do thought work. I knew I wanted to teach my clients how to do that. I also knew I wanted to teach my clients how to set boundaries. I knew I wanted to teach them Monday Hour 1, which is a calendaring system. And I wanted to help them develop their future plan and wheel of life. So I knew those were things that I wanted to teach them. I think this could be a good place to start for all of you. So and I'm going to give you a little bit less than 30 minutes to work on this, because we are getting everyone is going to have, by the end of this week or next week, if you need to flow into that, everyone is going to meet with me one-on-one, and I'm going to see your core pillars and I'm going to help you with it. So everyone is going to have this by the end. That's why I'm not giving you as much one-on-one time, but I want to let you know that like, this is how I thought about it. I was like, what do I want to teach them? Okay, what would these are the tools that I know as a coach that I could teach them. The problem was, I was like, how are they cross promote? Thank you, Dory. How am I going to say this in their words? I'm like, when do they need the unintentional and intentional model? When is that coming up for my career clients? And I was like, oh, they're feeling constantly stressed. That's the problem that they were having. So I solve for the root cause of their stress. The way that I do that is by teaching them that their thoughts are creating the stress, not the actual deadline, boss, all of that stuff. And the result is they will actually enjoy their jobs. So you're going to say this, and it might be like way too high level terms, and I can help you bring it down to like layman's terms, or for civilians that don't know what you do and how to communicate what you do effectively. But this is what, just like the overarching view of your program, this is what I was doing. So then I was like, okay, what is the topic or pillar that this would represent? And, oh, okay, that's too much. But I was like, essentially I did this first. So first I talked about the process. I was like, what are the 4 to 5 to 6 to 3 things that someone needs to know to go through my program, or things that I'm doing with them? Like Carrie, like you are going to be like, we're going to clean out your closet, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. Then I thought about how they would say it in their words. And then I thought about what the topic and pillar was called. So some of you might already have this started, you might be refining it today, but this is what it looked like when I thought about all of those things. I just filled this in. Now, this might take you longer than the 30 minutes in the call, and that's why I included this extra time with me. But I just filling this in and being like, okay, what's my problem, solution, process, result? What are the things that my people need to go through in order to have a fulfilling career, in order to be in the 200K mastermind, like the online coach accelerated, what would accelerate the clients, like for those programs, like this is what they did. I don't think they knew they were doing this. I've never seen anyone do this before. And I've talked with a lot of people in 200K and they've never seen it before. So if you see something like this, that's surprising and exciting. But then what we did is that we talked about the topics. I was like, okay, what is stress for them? A buzzword for my career people was burnout. Just feeling so burnt out. Like everyone was saying burnout. And I was like, there we go. That's my topic. Time management. Everyone's like, oh, I don't know how to manage my time. Boom. That's Monday hour 1. Work-life balance. Boundaries. You're going to create those work hours and long-term plan. I was like, and I actually decided, because my program was 10 months, I was like, I'm going to help you make your 10-year plan. That was a huge thing for people. People are like, oh, I want a 10-year plan. I want to work with Megan. Sounds like a plan, you know? So you're going to use those core pillars, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but this PowerPoint is within your materials in the Google Classroom. So if you want to refer back to any of these slides while we're working, great. But I want to let you know we're going to be using these through your marketing. So when we're marketing, you're going to talk about each pillar for a week. So it's going to be very streamlined. So people are going to start to know, oh, this is who Dorit is. She is the major change coach. She's going to help them through this. And like, oh, like, so it's like, those are kind of things that you're going to be able to do. Or like the selling, you're going to be able to use this, like I showed you, for your consult. So you want to make sure it's like something that people could define in a scale of 1 to 10. That's a good way to think about your pillars. I was like, they couldn't really come up with like I was going to do like mindset. And I'm like, what would you make your mindset on a scale of 1 to 10? And I was like, that would be hard for people. But stress management I could do, burnout they could do, you know, so like thinking about what people could rank on a scale of 1 to 10 can be helpful when you're thinking of your topic and or pillar. And then we're going through consults, not today, next week, and sales page next week. And then we're going to be talking about delivery and follow through. So what you're going to do is you are going to talk about like how I showed people last week, and I hope everyone has had a chance to look, but like I showed people like when I was working with clients one-on-one, and what I'm going to be doing for you as well. I need to figure out a better way to make it, again, B- work is what we're going for. I needed to figure out a way, like Dorit was talking about, like, can I see my progress and see what I used to rank my things? Currently, no, but I'm going to figure out a way to do it so that everyone can see this chart for themselves. But this is what I would do for my clients. And I would have them tell me for burnout, time management, confidence, all of those lovely things. And they could see their progress going up every single week. So you're going to be like, oh, I know my people are going to be less burnt out. Again, less, not a 10, less burnt out. You're going to know how to manage your time more than you did when you started. It might not be perfect, but it's going to be better, you know? So those are the things that we're going to be doing next week. And then I'm also going to talk you through how to sell to people, which will be very fun. So as you know what's coming, I want you to get coaching now. Oh, sign up for coaching. That's what I was like, get coaching now. It's like, what did that mean? Sign up for coaching now if you haven't. I'm pretty sure everyone has, but I'll double check. Complete your core 4 worksheet, now the core pillars worksheet. And I'm not going to coach for an hour and a half today. I want to give you guys some time. Submit your worksheet, fill out your weekly form, and set up for your one-on-one session if you haven't yet. Are there any questions? Actually, I did decide that I was going to coach you guys for longer today. This was one of the times that I decided I was going to coach. So, because I haven't had a chance to meet with everybody. So let's take a quick 5-minute break. You're not going to do your core pillars on this worksheet. You're doing them in the one-on-one sessions. And it's my time is Eastern. So at 10:45 Eastern time, everyone just submit your Google form for right now. And then we're going to start coaching in about 7 minutes. Any questions?
Wait, Megan, was the Google form something that was done once or each time?
Every week, and you're
Every
going to
week, okay.
select a different date. Great question.
Okay.
That's the way I could like figure it out. Okay, awesome. Get outside, get some water, get ready. And by the time we come back, we're going to be doing the damn thing. Do I still need to? I think we're good, Christina, unless you need help with it. All right. Love you guys. Take a break. See you in a second. You can leave your video on if you want. I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to the bathroom. TMI, but it's good. I started a timer, but you got about 4 minutes left. Get it right.
You're looking just a little too hard at me, standing just a little too close to me. You say you're not quite enough to me. You're sipping just a little too slow for me. No doubt you're playing real cool, homie. Got me thinking, what is it you do for me? Tripping a little more than I should be. So let yourself go and get right with me. Cause I'm sorry, now we can get right before the night is up. We can get right.
Can someone do me a favor? And if you could click on the systems and core pillars, tell me if you see price and timeline on it. I'll double check. I don't know if you guys knew this, but like I used to teach yoga and this is my abs song. Yes, so the way that you add another column, I'm going to teach you how to do it. If you have more than one pillar, you just do insert row above or below. And that'll be helpful for you to know for your client.
I don't have insert row.
So if you double click, and then you go insert row or above or below, that would be great. Also, don't touch it.
Wait, where did you
Where did I what?
where did you click that?
Hold on just a second. I realized that it's not showing up for you. Just give me a second. You guys don't see the price line or the timeline on yours, correct? So just give me a second. Don't edit that one just yet. And if you do, it's fine. No big deal. But I'm gonna change the link. I thought it was gonna be really convenient. And if I just gave you guys the right link, it would work. One second. Which is annoying. That's okay. Oh, it's not gonna let you. Okay, so everybody, if you, unfortunately, it won't let me add price and timeline to your core pillars document. So just add price and timeline to the document. That'd be great. And if you don't have it, I'll check it. Done. All right. And speaking of, I'm never gonna give you guys up. Love you guys so much. Think you guys are awesome. We're gonna get into some live coaching. So each week I'm gonna take one document for everybody. Feel free to take your own notes as we go. Like I mentioned last week, for me, I took notes. I still, like, for every single one of my calls with 200K and any other coaching call I get, like this is when I was getting certified, anything, I take notes on everybody. So like you can see I take notes on everything, and the things that are highlighted are things that triggered me. And so I'm like, oh, this is stuff I need to coach myself on. Red was for Laura, Olga was orange, yellow was for Julia, Stacy, Annalise was green. Those are just things that Stacy was saying. These are all things I was like, oh my gosh, I need to coach myself on it. I would highly recommend taking your own notes and being like, for me, it was like, when Laura was getting coached, she was like, it helped me to go to my worst case scenario. And then, she was like, even at like the $1 million level, she was like, talking about like her self-worth and her work and things like that. And I was like, oh, I need to work on that, or else it's going to be showing up at the $1 million level too. So important to know. But Amber, I was thinking, because you brought up some coaching already, let's talk about it, because I know the exact same problem that you have about like thinking that your clients might not be interested in the duration and the price point. Some variation of that is coming up for everybody. So lay it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and I kind of liked what Deb was saying about, because I do binge eating and overeating coaching, so kind of similar realm, but like I'm like, well, I don't know if I can guarantee that they're not going to binge eat at the end of 6 months. So I kind of like that conversation where it's like, you don't have to guarantee the weight loss or guarantee the binge eating, just that you make progress with it.
Yeah.
But I think also like kind of one of my problems, like she was saying, is I have both binge eaters and overeaters, and like the binge eaters, they need, and I would take them to like a place where they feel like they're normal eating. And so I feel like the binge eaters might need, 8 months. And the overeaters, though, I've had some people feel fine in 3 months. And so I'm wondering, like, I think it's kind of coming down to like, I think I chose 6 months because it's in the middle. But this is like an overarching problem for me where I don't know if I should niche down further to just do either overeaters or binge eaters, because they are different in some ways. Like you teach them the same tools kind of, but it just takes them long, like different amounts of times to get results.
Okay, so of time to get results. Okay, so what I'm thinking for you is you could offer it as like a 2-part thing for your binge eaters, or you could like do 4 months for everybody and then be like, for the second round, that's going to help you stabilize. Or you could just do 8 months for everybody, because those overeaters, I have a feeling they're going to get to like, it's like maybe they stop overeating, but then maybe they have a weight loss goal they want to accomplish. And then you could help them there. It's like for me, I worked with Jackie for 3.5 years until she literally was like, you are not a yoga teacher. I cannot help you. And I was like, please, I was like, I will pay you any amount of money to be a part of, like, to keep coaching with you. And she's like, it's time for you to move on to the 200K mastermind. And I was like, all right. So there are going to be people like that are like diehard, like want to work with you forever. But I think that people could still, so I think that there's two, and this is going to help everyone with decision making. There are 2 things that I want you to think about. I want you to think about, there's a choice to either do a 4-month program or do an 8-month program. And I want you, everybody, we're going to identify like the future version of you that is an amazing CEO of this like thriving business. You've got clients coming in all the time. They are your ideal clients. They're incredible. And I want you to come into that CEO energy. And then I want you to tell me the reasons why you would make it 4 months and the reasons why you wouldn't make it 4 months. We'll do the same for 8 months.
Okay, I would make it 4 months because I know I've had clients get results and reach their goals in 4 months before. It feels easier to sell 4 months. Just because I've had objections before of like, oh, I'm a little nervous working for 6 months, and maybe 4 months would be easier to commit to. It would be cheaper overall. I guess the initial upfront cost would be cheaper. I think it would be simpler to design a 4-month program and I could kind of have the pillars more simple as opposed to longer in the 8 months.
Can't spell month. Love it.
And then I wouldn't do a 4-month program because people might not sign up with me again. So it could be less money. I've had a client tell me that I used to do 3-month programs, and she said she wished it was longer because there's too much pressure, she felt like, to make the changes in those 3 months. So I feel like 4 months would kind of be similar. Maybe too much pressure on the client to reach their goals.
Mhm.
I think those are the main ones.
Okay, awesome. Now everyone pay attention to this why and why not, because this is also going to be the exact same thing I teach you for your consults. So everyone is going to learn this next week for how you can get through people to make a decision whether or not they want to work with you or not using this. Pretty cool. Now, tell me, 8-month program. Why?
I feel like I can almost fully guarantee the results then, or more, I feel more confident guaranteeing the results.
Keep going.
I'd make more money,
Mhm.
maybe, theoretically.
Yeah.
It puts less pressure on the clients to make changes quickly.
Mhm.
And then for why not, it feels harder to sell. And I don't trust that people want to work with me that long, or know, I guess, can get through their thought blocks about working with me for that long.
Mhm. Keep going.
There might be a client that isn't working well with me, or maybe they don't like the program. And then we still have a lot of more months left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think those are the main ones.
Okay. So now I want to, now that we have all the reasons why and why not for both of these, I'm going to start, and this is something that you guys are going to do in your consult. So that's why I'm like showing you this now. I just want to point out some thought errors that might be holding you back. If you want, if you feel like you're very clear in your decision already, great. I just wanted to tell you a couple of things that came up for me is that this like feels easier to sell, objections with working. That I think has happened because you've been burned potentially by clients in the past. And your brain has kind of like created this, like, it's created a danger warning sign because it doesn't want to feel that rejection again. But
Yeah.
what if we could create the thoughts in their mind? And I love that you already, again, it's so fun working with people who know that they have thoughts, because when you think about the thought blocks, you already know it's just a thought block for them. What overcomes thought blocks for people is different thoughts, right? You offer people different thoughts in your marketing. So it's like when, like, I would sell to the fact that it's different. I'd be like, oh, like, it's like the reason why it's like, it's not just going to be a short-term fix. It's not like a 2-month program that you've seen before. You are going to get these results. So it's like, that could be, again, coming into your CEO energy, you know what's best for you and your business. But I just wanted to point that out as like maybe some thought errors of like things that could be going on for you. And then the other thing I wanted to mention that could be like, and I'm just gonna italicize those because I'm like, those are maybe thoughts that we could work on. The other thing is like, it's simpler to design a 4-month program. that could also be a con. Why not? It might be harder to make an 8-month program.
Mhm.
However, that's something that we could work on if you wanted to, as like to create a longer time. Maybe the things that would be the pillars that you would do for like 1 month of the 4-month program could be, if you want them to be, 2 months instead of 1 month. And that's
Mhm.
how you would, like, it would be the same 4-month program, you would just double the duration.
Mhm.
So seeing all that on the table, are there any other things that you want to add? Are you feeling good?
I guess like it just keeps coming up with me. Like I feel like I need to make this decision on whether like I want to niche down or just like stay with both of them.
Okay.
And maybe it's not like, maybe it's okay that I have both people.
Yeah.
Because my clients have been both people too. Like the people who come to me, like I've attracted both people too. So
Yeah.
it's like not even like my clients are really showing me. So like maybe it's not a problem because both people are like the overeaters and the binge eaters are coming to me.
I don't think
But it
it's
just feels like sometimes there's differences in the amount of length they need and the amount of depth they need.
so there could be differences in those depths.
Mhm.
But you said that you were teaching them the same overarching concepts for overeating
Yeah.
versus binge. Okay. So the difference between a binge eater is that there's a lot more psychological stuff that's gone on there to get them to a point where they're stopping overeating. For an overeater, it might be like just a different it's like you get the binge eaters to stop overeating and you get the overeaters to like a point where they're like eating.
I say like eating normally.
I was gonna say normally, but I was like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I say normal subjective, but yeah, I say normally because that's normally what
That's
people
so I
tell
was like normally, but yes. Okay,
Yes.
so from here, it's like you could niche down for sure, but I think that either way, overeaters or binge eaters might be able to get the results. And if you still want to niche down, we can talk through niching down. But when I say that, like, I don't think that you need to niche down, what comes up for you?
the whole business world tells me you need to niche down.
All of this is
Like I can't be helping two types of people at once. But it also makes sense. Like when you're saying like I'm essentially teaching the same thing. Like I think the difference for them, it's usually the binge eaters were like more severe in their dieting. And so they just have like they just go further to the other side of binge eating. And sometimes their thought patterns are just like a little bit more ingrained. So they take a little bit longer to undo, but it's essentially like they're just eating too much food either way. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
I don't think it matters. And as a person who has made 100K just selling pretty much, as I only switched to the Career Fulfillment Initiative last summer. And I was like, yeah, it's just for people who have a career. So like it was college. So one of them or two of them were in college or like going back to school to get a degree. There were some people who were like not working. They wanted to start working in. Some people wanted to do a business. Like it was just everybody. But for some reason, because I was clear about like the pillars that I had, the burnout, time management, confidence, work-life balance, and long-term plan. Confidence was the other one that I didn't leave in there because I was trying to do core 4. But I was really clear about like, these are the things that I'm going to help you with. And then that's why people came. Now, if you think it's going to, what you could do is within your program, we haven't talked through your core pillars just yet, but like you could have like a goal setting one that could be like another, a pillar of yours. And when they reach the goal, then you just have another goal and another goal and another goal. So maybe instead of doing like 2 months for each, you could go through the whole same process again, once they've hit their goal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah. And I like thinking about like my pillars are gonna be the same, I think, for both. So it's just kind of like if the pillars resonate with them and that's what like they see that they need, it's like it doesn't matter what category they identify in as an eater. It's like if they know that that will help them, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
And I'm going to share with you a thought that Stacey had, and I don't know who is my business coach currently. She said that niching down, like she actually loves general coaching as well. I love general coaching. I think it's super fun. And the thoughts about like the reason why the business world, for anyone who doesn't know about niching is just narrowing down one specific group of people. It can be a lot easier to find specific groups of people, but it also takes you from like maybe 95%, 100% of the population could be your person to like 5% of the population could be your person. So I think you're just cutting out unnecessary people that you help and coach that you don't need to cut out.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Because I'm like, at this point, I don't think it's super clear whether you would rather work with, unless you're like, okay. For me, I was like, okay, I'm doing general career, but like it was so clear. And this might be a situation for you too. Like I had, of my 18 clients, I had 12 that had businesses.
Mhm.
And it was like, and I loved it. Like talking about promotion was fun, but when I was talking about like, oh my God, this can help your business grow. Like, let's talk about this. It lit my soul on fire. So maybe as you go, I'm not saying don't niche down ever, but maybe for this first 5 months, you think about like, okay, I'm just going to speak broad. And then as you start getting clients, you're like, oh, it's clear that I want to work with binge eaters more than overeaters or vice versa.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
know exactly where they are and it would be easy. And then I would say niche down.
Okay.
But that's what I'm thinking for you. Maybe keep it
Yeah.
broad.
Yeah, that feels good.
Okay. So keeping it broad, which would you rather do as the CEO of your business, 8-month or 4-month?
Well, so right now I have it at 6 months. So I'm like, maybe I should just keep it at 6 months because that is like
Keep it at
the
6
middle.
months. Okay.
I think I'm going to decide to keep it at 6 months for now.
Okay. And
And then maybe consider like if I want to move to 8th month, like throughout this program, I can kind of see like as my clients continue and what is coming up for them. Like if I think 8 months would be better, but maybe because I haven't been coaching that long, maybe just like stick with 6 months. Cause I did, well, I've been coaching for about a year and about half the time I did 3-month program and then I moved to 6 months. So like maybe let's just like keep it a year at 6 months and then I can move if I need to.
love that. Okay. Why would you not keep it at 6 months? Any other reasons why not? It doesn't have to be. I just want to make sure that we are you love your decision. And this is what everybody, when you've got a decision to make, do this and move on. That's like the point is like, we don't want to dwell in decision making. You want to make a decision to move on.
Yeah. I'm nervous that they might not get results in 6 months if they are like really deep in binge eating.
Mhm.
But I guess they could just sign up with me again if they wanted to.
I love that. And do you love your reasons for 6 months?
Yes. 90%.
90%, and we'll work on those. Like
I like them more than the other reasons, I think.
I think so too. So that's when you are, this is such a good start to this. And I want you to like, when you are on a consult call with people in the future, the goal is not to get them to sign up. The goal is not to get them to a yes. It's not to be like, oh, I signed this person. Amazing. You want to figure out what their reasons are and have them feel really good about it.
Mhm.
You know, now, but you also want to clear up the thought errors along the way. Like, yes, yep, nope, not today, Carrie. We're gonna go for it. But like, there might be people that you talk with, and it's like, okay, it's like if they're like a why not, and they've got reasons for it, and they seem like they're hesitant, and be like, okay, maybe it's a no for you for now, and we're gonna move forward. But I
Mhm.
think 6 months is awesome, and we're gonna build you a kick-ass program that people are gonna be like, hell yes, I'm an overeater. This is exactly what I need. I'm a binge eater. This is also exactly what I need. And I think that you're going to get more and more clear as you go on. But I think that keeping it at 6 months is amazing.
Okay. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Of course. Who is next? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like the biggest one. Okay, I see a Sarah hand and I saw a Katie hand. Katie, since I coached you last week, is it okay if I coach Sarah really quick and then come back to you? Just give me a thumbs up if that works. Okay, cool. I love that sweater, by the way. Sarah, tell me what's coming up for you.
One of the things that came up earlier, right? You talked a little bit about perfectionism, and I feel like that has been a big roadblock for me, and I'm having trouble getting at what is the fear that's driving that.
Hmm.
Do you want to be coaching specifically on the core pillars though?
It's gonna, all roads lead to Rome.
Sure it
I
does.
think it's gonna end up where exactly where you need to be. So tell me, when you're thinking about like perfectionism in your business, is it when you're thinking about making a decision for it? Is it coming up with marketing? A little bit of both?
Yeah, like the image that I give off in my marketing, I just keep delaying taking certain actions, like creating certain pieces of content, or even like within the delivery of my program. certain elements that I keep dragging out and I keep re-editing, or
Mm,
there's just a lot of delaying where I'm like, what's stopping me from doing this today? It's like, I don't feel like I could create the level of the image, all of it that I would want to be putting out there.
okay. So I want you to think about like, what does the ideal image look like for you? What would that perfectionism, because it's like when we say perfectionism, it can mean like a million different things. Give me what your version of perfectionism looks like.
Because I think I look at the way I like people, what I see online that I like people delivering as, like
Mhm.
Layla Hormozy and Alex Hormozy, and like the way that they put things out there. I'm like, that is, I want to be producing at that level.
Okay.
But I know they have teams and everything. So it's like,
Good little reflection. It's like, these people might be making millions of dollars and have done this for 15 years, but which is good for everyone to keep in mind. But I want you to like define what at that level would look like for you. It's like, is it specific color? Is it the colors of your program? Is it the time? Is it the, like, what does the at that level mean for you?
there's coherence.
What does coherence mean?
There's coherence from everything down to the like the core values of the brand, the messaging of the brand, the colors of the brand, like,
Mhm.
and it just feels, for me, it gives a lot of credibility.
Mhm. Now, what do you think about like their businesses? Like, what do you think about like when you're thinking about them? Like, I love working with them. I love seeing their stuff. Like, what?
Like it's always across the board a value add.
Oh, I love this thought toward a value add. And here's why. Because I think because you don't feel like your like core values, the branding is exactly spot on. I think that you're making it mean about your business that it's not only not a value add, but maybe it's taking value away for many people. Now that's a get shot in the dark. Tell me where I'm landing.
That's why it's like I'm having trouble really getting at like what is beneath this, because I know I have value to say. I know that it, like, even my worst effort is gonna surpass, you know, like meet the bar for serving people. But like I'm not content. It's kind of like buttoning up a shirt and like missing a hole. It just doesn't feel right for me, and I'm like not willing to do it.
Okay. Doesn't feel right. So if it felt right, if like everything in your business felt right, what would be different?
Well, definitely I would be taking action and it
Yeah.
wouldn't be delaying it.
Okay. What, like, how would you feel as you take that action?
I guess more self-assured,
Mm-hmm.
confident.
Why? What would you be thinking that would be different?
Just that it's at the level that I want it to be. That like, I don't know, I have such high standards for myself, and it's just really hard to, like, I really put
on
back
those
on-
thought though, because it's like it's really hard for me. It's like it might be, but like, but we're gonna keep that perspective. We're gonna hold it. But I just want you to stay with me right here. If it's at the level you want it to be, then you'd make it mean what about you? Like I did enough? Is it like something like that?
what would I make it mean about me?
Because I think you have a manual for your business. That's what I'm getting at. And did you know, I'm going to show everyone what a manual is in a second, but you know what a manual is. And I think that that might be the case.
Mm. Well, I think I would just take it to the level. Like it's at the level I want to be. I'm at the level that I want to be.
Okay. I want to be. So you're making it mean now. If since you're not, it doesn't feel right. What are you making it mean about yourself now?
Yeah. That I'm not producing at the level that I want to be.
Mhm.
And it's like that all or nothingness of like, it's either going to be at the level I want it to be, or I'm not putting it out there at all.
Mhm. So we can see that. We can see that that's where your brain is coming from. But if you were to put something out there that's like, and I'll talk to you guys about, I promise I'm going to come back to Emmanuel, but I want you to think about like the last time you were putting content out there. And you're like, okay, I'm not putting it out there at all. Why? What would be the problem? What is your brain afraid of if you put out B- work? Do you think people won't buy?
Like I don't really care. Like anyway, that's what I'm telling myself. Like I value what I have to say so much that I don't really care if someone has an opinion about it. I'm really firm in that. So I don't understand what it is that I'm like. I know like the worst thing is like my own opinion, but it's like my own.
Else in there, because like,
Um,
you know what I mean? There's something that's holding you back from like putting, like if I were like, Sarah, put like think like a CEO out on your Instagram right now, whatever colors you can find on Canva.
mhm.
I work with people for X amount of time. We haven't talked to your core pillars yet either, but it's like I work with people for this amount of time. This is it right now. What would be, why would that scare you?
Mm. It's like it just doesn't feel right. Like even that, like I think there's elements that are still in the like conception phase, and I'm like wanting it to be the finished product, but I know it's like never going to be finished because it's always in continual.
So how would you feel if it was finished, if you had the finished product?
Well, even if I had the finished product, if I'm not putting something out there that I feel adequately reflects that, then
It's never gonna be.
it's just like such a big, it's just like, no. And
Yeah.
I'm having trouble accessing, like, I don't know what's the big deal? Who cares? But I feel like I think I've gone through so many different iterations of my business and content and stuff that I look back and I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I don't even know. I don't even care though. Like, I'm like, it's just funny to me now, but I'm totally blowing
But
myself
this
down.
is like, Sarah, I think this is why. I think it's because you've gone through so many iterations. Your brain is like, this iteration isn't going to be any different and it's going to suck and I'm going to be embarrassed again. And I don't like, there's something in that realm that I think that's what your brain maybe, no. You don't think it's afraid of doing, think like a CEO right now?
It knows it will be an improvement. But even that, right? Like I went with that name, but even that I might change. Like it's
So maybe we just need to do some bridge thoughts.
mhm.
So, and oh, this is somebody else's. So when we have bridge thoughts, what we want to do is we just want to bridge the gap between where you're at and where you want to be. And I think everyone can relate to this. Like I've saw in like the chat, like people are like, yes, like this is me. By the way, this is my first coaching program. These are my old program ideas of all the things I wanted to teach. So I just want to show you all the things that I wanted to teach other people, and I'm not using any of it. And it was so worth it. Like so amazing. Manuals are where you're thinking about someone or something that you want to change. And this is where you like write their name, and this is where you would want it to feel. And we just want to figure out why your business doesn't feel that way. Why I was trying to get you to like what you would want to, what you would feel if you had a finished product, is that is what your brain is seeking on the other side of this. So what I think I told Katie about this last week is when I'm doing my thought work every day, I like to include evidence for all the things. These are all the things I need to coach myself on. And when I'm doing that thought work, what I do, and I haven't done it today, but I also like to think about why I was remarkable. Because I feel like if I had signed all these people, it would be remarkable. That I'm the bedrock of the coaching community, that I'm creating generational change, that I can feel proud of myself, at peace, feel safe. It's like why it's the best idea. And then this is for everybody, but Amber, for you, it's like, why is 6 months the perfect time for my people? Why is my program worth X amount of money? Why can I find joy in my business today? Why 5 people will sign up to do one-on-one with me before the end of the year? So that's what I want you to identify, is the feeling that you're seeking at the other side of this perfect business. And I want you to start finding ways that you're like that today. Because it's like, if you can find that, then you can release it. And that's what I was doing before. I was like, okay, what it would be like, it's like, you've got this perfect content, everything is streamlined. And then why, how would you feel? What would your thoughts change? And then accept, find love for them, and decide how you want to show up now. So that's the first little bit. The second little bit is when you're thinking about the thought ladders, another concept that I haven't, that was in here, was when you're thinking about becoming aware of a thought work situation. It's like, okay, I'm a failure was one of them, but for you, your thought was like, it doesn't feel right. So that's a thought that your brain keeps thinking over and over again. It doesn't feel right. Would you say that's like the biggest one? Or because you've said that a couple times?
Mhm.
Okay. So we start here, and then we're going to have another thought on the opposite side of it. Maybe it feels right. Could be that other thought. And if you think about the way a ladder looks, is I think your brain is trying to go from it doesn't feel right to it feels right now. And so I want to offer you the way that I like to do my thought ladders is like, you get stuck and it's like, okay, I notice I keep thinking it doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm thinking it doesn't feel right, and it's okay. And I'll share this in the group with everybody, but maybe it doesn't feel right. Maybe not. Sometimes it doesn't feel right, but sometimes it does feel right. Just giving your brain perspective. And then you can add openers and closers. Like, I'm open to believing this could be right for somebody. I'm open. It's possible this could be right now for somebody. Maybe someday it'll be right. And then I'm working to believe on the other side of it. You could also just get to a neutral thought. It's not right or wrong. It just is. So let's start with like, I'm thinking it doesn't feel right, and it's okay. Does that land for you right now?
I don't know that it's okay part.
Okay.
for me.
I'm thinking it doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're going to build from there. What do you think the next rung of the ladder could be for you? Has it ever felt right before? Has something felt right in your business before?
Like all the time, but I wait for that standard till I meet my standard. And I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Okay. So did something that you felt right about before, do you not feel right about it now?
I think I've just been like, I'm going to put it out there anyway. But then what ends up happening down the line is I'll just go remove everything that I don't like in hindsight.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is this is going to be we're bridging the gap. This is going to be something we talk about later. But right now, you're at the point where you're like, it doesn't feel right. And we're on this side. Okay. So you're going to be here. It doesn't feel right. And it feels terrible, I'm sure. And what we're going to do is I am going to have you take action with this thought and feeling. So your homework, you're going to love this, is you're going to have to post and you are not going to be able to delete it. And this is up to you. Again, I just, as your coach, this is what Jackie would have me do. And it really helped. I had to do 30 posts in 30 days and I had to send her every single one. And I hated every single one and she wouldn't let me take it down. And I was like, wow, this is horrible. My coach is a bitch, but I was like, it created the version of me that was able to put out content. So my goal for you is to put out at least I think one piece of content and leave it up, and we're all gonna like it and we're all gonna comment on it. We're gonna be like, killing it, Sarah, you can do it. Yes, your brain is gonna hate it the whole time, but it's gonna help you become the CEO that you know that you want to be. And I know that's how these people who you're looking at their businesses, I know that's how they got there too. We just have to get you out of your own way and re-trigger the hell out of you to figure out what the hell this blind spot is. We're going to figure it out. It's in there. But sometimes you don't need to know your blind spot. You just need to go forward.
Yeah, I think that's the point I'm at.
So it's like, we just got to get you doing something in your business because you're too good. I work with Sarah, by the way. She's my weight loss coach that I've been working with since April. And I fucking love you. And you're way too good of a coach to keep yourself in this area of it doesn't feel right to stop people from working with you. Because think like a CEO is a damn good idea. I know that that's going to be something that helps people. If you guys haven't seen Sarah's reel, also, if you haven't done your video, send me your video. But if you haven't seen Sarah's reel yet, listen to the confidence in her voice. She's like, hell yes, this is awesome. Who wouldn't want to work with you? The people literally just don't know that you exist to work with you. I'd be myself. Help you get out of your own way. You're going to start posting right now, which feels terrible. Doesn't anyone else want coaching? I'm just kidding. But it's okay for how does that feel now? Probably terrible. But are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, just that, right? Because even in this session, we're reworking possibly the name of that. And I don't feel like the name reflects the result. So I want to change that. So it's but it's okay. I know it's just to take action anyway.
It's going to be a take action anyway situation. And it's going to not feel good, but that's okay. That's what your thought work is there for. That's for our group. We're all here to support each other through the not feeling good. And that's why I was I wanted to get you to this point because everyone is going to be here at some point or another in the next 5 months. Every single person is going to feel like, fuck, I really don't want to do this. And they're going to remember this coaching that we're doing on the 8th of November. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember the 8th of November when Sarah's getting coached. I can relate. And we're all going to support you to get there. But doing that B- work is going to help you bring these people in. Okay. And then when you post it in the group, you got to do it by when can you get this? I know you're going to hate it, but at least by Friday. And I want you to post it in the group, include the link for the post. And everyone's going to start doing this shit because we're going to start promoting each other and helping each other. I also have Newsfeed Eradicator on my computer, but we're going to be okay, I created this 25K and 25-day challenge. Can everyone like it? And you just literally go here and then copy link. And then you're going to post it in the group and you're going to be can everyone just like this or say something about it? And we're all going to support you. And when we're Sarah, you're a badass. This is awesome. Okay. And everyone, it's going to be part of your homework too, because there's going to be a day when y'all are going to need support. And by giving support to someone else a little ahead of time, it's going to be awesome. Okay. Sound good? Love it. I know. And also, yes, Sarah, your B- is probably everyone else's A+. Props. I love that. Okay. Thank you for that amazing coaching. Katie.
Yeah, that was super helpful.
Good.
Yeah. Because mine's kind of similar. So I was trying to work through my thought while Sarah was getting coaching.
Awesome. Love that.
But I didn't.
Amazing. Lay it on me. Sarah.
Okay, my thought is it's not working and I can't get rid of that fucking thought.
Okay. So what if it's, I love Dorit's like chuckle. I like heard that in the background. It's like, yep, haven't we all? Like for me, I literally like didn't get rid of that thought until like, I swear to God, y'all, it was like July, maybe August. I think it was August of this year. So I think that's happening for everybody at the stage. And now it's not only it's not working, it's just not working fast enough, or it's not working in the right way. It's super fun. Something we'll all deal with. So I'm glad you're bringing this. So it's not working. I think this could be a thought ladder opportunity. Okay.
Problem is, I believe it. Sorry.
You're dying. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Take some water. You're good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that the goal is always to get to it's working before you take action. That's
Okay,
just,
here, Meg, here's where it's killing me.
Mhm.
Because you just said you had that thought, but you had things changing, and I have that thought, and I don't have things changing, and that's where it's killing me.
what if things are changing in a way that you don't want?
What?
You said, what if there are things that are changing in a way that you don't want? Like I'm
Great.
posting more and I'm not. So it's not that things aren't changing, it's just not changing in the right direction. I went 7 months without a consult.
Yeah, it's
I also lost 4 clients in July, and I lost another client last week, or like a client decided to pause. Like, it's just that I don't think that it's not working because that's happening right now.
right.
So I'm here to tell you it gets better. And I promise it'll get better for you too. But for the time being, this thought it's not working. Okay. Like when we're thinking about like this thought it's not working, so many variations of it. But what if it's not working and it's okay?
It's not okay.
Why?
I mean, that's the work I was just trying to do. It's not okay because I haven't signed a new client since February, because I'm not making money, because I'm making less money than I made last year. Because I haven't hit any of my goals for the year, because I've been working hard all year to hit goals that I haven't hit, because I'm not redoing the mastermind. I mean, so
Mhm.
many reasons.
Okay. So you got a plethora of evidence, and your brain has all thoughts that it's true that it's not okay.
Mhm.
How is it absolutely true that it's completely not okay? Like you are going to be out on the streets if you don't hit your goals.
No, but
How is it true that it's okay? Your brain just has no evidence of it, so it's going to take that.
because I'm still here.
Mhm. You haven't died yet. Thank God. You know, it's good. Okay, so we got to show your brain it's okay. We're okay. We're freaking out right now, and it's okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to show your brain why it's really unhelpful to have the thought it's not okay. Okay, like it's not working and it's not okay. I just want to show you what's happening. So like when does it show up when you're thinking? And I'm sure it's like again, like last week, all the time, narrow it down to when it's showing up for you. Because again, I'm sure when you're working with clients, it's not showing up like it's not working. Maybe some clients you're like, oh, it's really hard to get them results, but like not for every client. So it's not all the time. When does it show up?
No, over delivering, I'm fine with. It's marketing and selling.
So you're marketing and selling, and your brain is like, it's not working and it's not okay. Okay. And let's just even go, I think you did this in your models and it's not okay, but I wanted to elaborate on it. When you think it's not working and it's not okay, how do you feel?
Like complete ass. Like defeat, I wrote this down. Defeated, disappointed, angry, frustrated.
Okay, so that model is a little murky. Let's
Yeah,
clean it up and just think about like, it's not working. And it's not okay. Like, I think those are the thoughts from it's not working. You have a lot of thoughts about, but like when you're like, it's not okay, there might be another underlying like thought there. Like, why isn't it okay?
it's not going to work.
And then what?
Nothing will change. Like
And-
it will fail.
It will fail. Okay. So that's the biggest thing that your brain is scared of right now. It keeps thinking it's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's not. And that's why sometimes you have to go like deeper, deeper, deeper into like, it's not working to figure out like this, the real fear is that it's going to fail. Now, everybody in this room is scared of failure. Thanks, school system. Sorry, as a former teacher, apologies to all of you. But yeah, the fear of failure, it's real. And tell me, how does it feel when you're thinking it's going to fail? That's going to be different. That's going to be a specific emotion.
Fear.
What are you doing from this place of fear?
Freaking out,
Mhm.
worrying, stressing, having anxiety.
What you not doing?
Huh?
What are you not doing?
I'm not showing up in service. I am showing up, but I'm not showing up in service and love because I can't get rid of the thought.
Okay. And I say like, because you're focusing on yourself. That's why I put in there, because like you're panicking that I'm going to fail. So here's the shit thing that your brain didn't realize. And sometimes when you have a really, I would do this for all of you guys, is that like when you've got a thought that you've thought forever, like maybe it's like what Sarah was saying, like it doesn't feel right. It's like you never make it right. For you is it will fail. If you keep thinking that thought. Now you're not going to keep thinking that thought. But sometimes your nervous system needs like that, like, this is why this is not working. And we really need to stop thinking this thought.
Mhm.
So what came up for you then?
I know all that.
Okay. So why is it continuing to think that?
This is my question to you.
Yeah, it's like, why are we thinking it's going to fail? What's the worst thing? And then I actually wrote my last email for all of y'all, because this is like the creating safety, that thought that I did a whole Instagram post or Facebook post. Everyone should be in the business development mastermind or yay. Here. So this is how you create safety in your body, is like you're feeling need. So it's like, this is the perspective, worst case scenario, grounded in sufficiency. But I want you to practice this, because it's like your brain doesn't feel safe to fail. And I want to know why.
I mean, I think where my brain goes, this isn't an answer to your question, but I think where my brain goes when I see all that is like, I'll do all the things and they won't work. I'll do all that stuff and nothing will change.
Mhm. Is that absolutely true?
Feels true.
Okay. That's subconscious speaking. If you do all this work, nothing will change. So going through all these systems in the mastermind, nothing is going to change in your business. Maybe. Maybe not. Devil's advocate time. Maybe having these core pillars might be helpful. Maybe you're going to get a little bit clearer about your marketing. Maybe you're going to start doing some webinars for people. Maybe you're going to have a Facebook group where you do that awesome golden meditation that you did.
You're so funny.
You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe if you start doing that stuff and showing people that like how awesome it is to work with you, maybe you just haven't been clear just yet, which is fine.
Mhm.
None of us are ever completely clear at you, Sarah. But like, it's like one of those things that's like one of those things that like, yes, it's not going to feel perfect all the time, but would you be willing to do the work to help more people and or help yourself out of this hole, your words, and it from previous times.
I just don't want the thought that anything I do isn't going to work to be there.
Got good news. I've got bad news. Got good news. The thought will eventually change. And this is what we're going to talk about later about when I was talking to Sarah about bridging the gap. What happens is, and I think that Olivia called this a middle model. She's a friend of mine that, but she's like, okay, there's what I think of is you've got here where it's like you don't have, it's like you've got the thought, feeling, action, result. That's all negative. And what happens is you change the action and you still have the crappy thought and feeling, and you still have the same result. And then you start feeling a little better because you've taken so much action that just kind of feels normal at this point to feel crappy. And so it's like instead of being like dread, it's like apathetic or like unpleasant, it gets a little better. And then you still have no results. And then you start to be like, you know what, maybe this is gonna work. Or maybe you start getting some results with crappy thoughts and feelings, and it starts to feel better. And you start thinking, oh, maybe this could work. Maybe this parts of this are working, it's like, but what happens is you have to do stuff anyways, which is the unfortunate part. That's the not so good news for you, is I'm going to give you the same coaching I gave to Sarah. It's like, you're going to have to do something this week. You're going to take action and you're going to think it's not working, and it's okay. You're still going to attract awesome people.
But I am doing that. Like I'm not, that's where I got tripped up in the last coaching, because I am taking action and I have been taking action all year.
Right.
And
But have you
overcoming perfectionism?
Okay, I'm hearing that. But have you started a Facebook group that you do weekly meditations with?
No.
Did we talk about that before? Okay, so have you tried everything?
No.
Have you put flyers out in places? Have you started doing webinars every month?
No, I haven't done a webinar.
That's okay. No big deal. But you still show your brain that you've done it's like I've been doing stuff all year. You just haven't been doing the right stuff. Maybe posting is not working for you right now. Maybe you need to do more. Your brain's like, fuck, I don't want to put more energy out there. Don't want to do that. Would you be willing to put the energy out there if it would work eventually?
Yeah, but I think what I'm afraid of is what you just
I love
said.
the but. Yeah, it's like, yes, give me your but.
So it's like if you take all the action. So I think what my brain is saying is like, you've been taking all this action all year, but this thought that you weren't even aware of has been driving all of that action. So
the thought, you don't.
What?
So your brain's like, I have to change the thought before I can take any more action, because any action coming from this thought will end in the same result, right?
Yeah.
So that's not true. You can get to, I think that there are people that are like, yeah, I've made $500,000 with a half managed brain. I want you to think about whether someone, my dad owns a car wash. Like that is something that he decided to start a couple of years ago. And I can tell you for a fact, he has thoughts it doesn't work. It's awful all the time. He is not in my coaching program. I would love to recommend it to Jeff Wang, but since he is not, he has a half managed brain and he has been able to do very well for himself. There are millions of other businesses that are not coaches that have no idea what thoughts are going on in their brains at all, and they're still able to do very well. Just because you're a coach doesn't mean it's a business too. people take action from half managed thoughts all the time. You don't have to be in this perfect, I'm clear and aligned and I've got it going on. And it's like, yes, the gods of the coaching business have come down on me and everything feels wonderful and I take action and everyone comes. I hate to break it to you, but that's not how it works. But you can, the good news is people who have thoughts, it's going to fail. It's going to be terrible. It won't work. It won't change. And they are still able to make a ton of money.
Okay.
And then their thoughts change. And it's good that we have this awareness, but we don't want to use the awareness against you. And I think that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were thinking about like taking action again, what would you need to do differently than this?
I have to be willing to believe
And Sarah, I want you to be thinking of this too.
that there's a different result that's possible. Like that would have to be there.
Okay. Are you
Um,
willing right now to believe that there's potentially a different result possible for you? Then we don't need to put in your A line. Because again, this is back to beliefs. And again, beliefs are awesome. Don't use it against you. What are the A's that you would do? Posting. We want to keep you posting, but we want to add some more stuff.
I see. Posting, sharing, teaching, leading.
Like in a face, like I want you to today, Sarah's is gonna be to post tomorrow. I like it. You're gonna start a Facebook group. And I want you guys to do this like maybe today, like
I don't even have a name for my program yet.
and guess what? Coaching with Katie is gonna be your name for the first week.
Yeah. Okay. I'll figure that out.
The goal getters. We're gonna get some goals. Who knows what that's about? With Megan was the first one. Still did pretty well. And I was thinking it wasn't working at all. Okay. So I want you to start a Facebook group and I want you to invite all of us and we're all gonna join. It's gonna be great. Surprise, you didn't know you were going to do all these things in my group. You are. Surprise. It's like you're gonna start the Facebook group and I want you to start doing like weekly meditations.
Okay.
Just that simple meditation. Have you reached out to the yoga studios yet?
Well, I'm moving.
Okay. Have you looked up yoga studios in Brooklyn?
No, I haven't, but I think it's smart to not put too much on my plate.
I agree. I just want to show your brain that it's like we tried. Oh no, not now. We don't want to relaunch. But it's like you've tried everything. Maybe there are a couple more things to try.
Yeah, I think it just wants Instagram to be working. It's like this is just supposed to be the way that you build a business. Like everyone does it through Instagram. So why is it not working?
Right. It's like if I just build this like awesome program, like people will come. Like it was like, I hate to break it to you guys, but even if you have the best core 4, you're still gonna have to do more. I thought that was gonna bring everybody in. I was like, if I just build this awesome group, clearly everyone will come. And 2 people, amazing. Thanks to Reet and Christina, you guys came. But like everybody else, I had to like talk with you. I had to message people and say, hey, can you repost this? I was like coaching with people and telling it's again, the energy was good, but it was like I had to work my ass off to get every single person in this group. And it's a good thing. But it's like I kind of thought that I was like, if I build it, they will come. And that is not the case.
Mhm.
You got to work for it. WERK.
I think there's like this belief that other people just magically have people come to them on Instagram.
Wouldn't that be so fun? I would love that. No.
Okay.
Sometimes they will. Eventually it will.
But
Sometimes-
not in the beginning.
I don't think so.
I see. So it's probably just that I'm not sharing enough or teaching enough or
Probably mix of all things,
all the things.
you know? But I want you to, maybe it's courageous as you take action. Maybe it's like,
It is courageous. That is
what?
definitely the vibe.
And I think you were the one that mentioned like you're having trouble coming up with the intentional thought. What
Mhm.
can you think right now that makes you feel courageous as you take action right now?
Maybe this will work.
This will. Does that create the feeling of courageous for you?
No.
No. Okay. So maybe it's something like I'm willing to go for it and I've got support to catch me if it doesn't work. You know, it's like I'm willing to go through and do the work. I'm willing to expand on the energy that this takes. Anyways. And just again for like 5 months, and then you can do whatever you want. But like I want you to be willing to put the work in for
Mhm.
5 months at the very minimum for this program. I want you to show the fuck up, even when it feels terrible. Okay. Can you
Mhm.
do that for me? It's like, I'm willing to do this for 5 months. And then give your brain like a deadline. It's like, okay, then we can reevaluate. But would you be willing to do it for 5 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Willing to go for it for these next 5 months.
even with a mismanaged brain.
Yay!
I just have to believe that that doesn't matter. Because I think so much of coaching is like, if you're taking action without the thoughts, you're never going to get there.
I think that's true, but I also think that sometimes you just need to know the A line.
Mhm.
You know, it's like that's literally like what I was realizing. I was like, I was trying all the things, but like it wasn't working because I just didn't know stuff, you know?
Yeah, because you can't build a business just off of belief alone.
Exactly. You gotta what? Well, you
Take action.
gotta do shit, you know? So I think this is awesome. I'm really proud of you, lady. And let me know if anything comes up. Add us all to your Facebook group. That is your homework. Put it here. Add us to Facebook group. And I'm going to add everyone's Facebook. And I'm going to make a spreadsheet for everybody. So you're going to have everyone's Instagram, Facebook, phone number, and then you'll be able to friend us and then we'll all join and that'll be great. Okay. So at least, at the very least, you're going to have 10 people in your Facebook group. And that'll be fun. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Of course. Harry, I haven't talked to you in a minute. I wanted to check in with,
Yeah, I was just about to raise my hand for you.
oh my gosh, we're telepathic. Okay. So tell me what's going on for you in your business. Facebook group, do it now. I would say everyone make a Facebook group and in the spreadsheet. Sorry, I saw a text in the chat. Everyone, and I would say that for you, maybe not a Facebook group. You're the only one who I would not recommend potentially making a Facebook group. You can, but I think that for everybody else, make a Facebook group right now.
Are you talking to me or Carrie?
I was talking to Carrie that you're the only one to not make it, but Amber, everybody else make a Facebook group because I think like there's proof of concept that people can do as a coach. Like a lot of other people are coaches. And so it's like, they might need to show people what coaching looks like, Carrie. You don't really need to show people what being a personal stylist looks like necessarily. I think you can do that.
Okay, I might have to hop at 12 too, so I'm gonna try to give you.
Give it to me.
So right now I'm just, I think I just wrote this in my form. I'm just struggling with balancing all the plates. I know that there is an end in sight for me leaving my job so I can focus more on this.
What's that date?
I think I'm telling my boss after Thanksgiving, and just because, well, I won't like probably the 15th. Let me like before Christmas, I'll be done.
Okay. So, okay, great. Day 47 days. Okay.
So yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm having a hard time just managing everything. Like I feel like I started slacking on my content calendar. I accidentally missed the first day of coaching, which that was one of the days I could have been there, and I just didn't make it. Everyone who's already spoke today, I've literally, you can chalk me up for every single thing that everyone is struggling with. Like,
Good.
I always have a vision. I have a new idea where like, oh my God, I'm trying to stick with the program that we talked about in the Facebook group. And it's so hard for me to be like, wait, I can help someone like do this. Or like, I think I find myself trying to accommodate other people more than myself.
Mhm.
I also am very hard on myself. Like what I just posted about the Black Friday thing, I was like, I hate this. I don't like my colors. I don't like my logo, or I don't like my font. It's not as clean. I like someone else's because I'm looking at someone else's, and it's actually nice to be part of a community where people are dealing with the same things. I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm such a person of structure where like I know I'm going to learn and take away so much more from this program, but that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is to make a clean cut decision, because I think that'll just help me be
Mhm.
confident and being like, yep, this is what I offer, this is how long it takes, and this is how much it is, and boom, boom, boom. That's it. And then like I'll have the 4 pillars
Mhm.
to follow. But yeah, like I feel like I'm a little bit in disarray, which I don't like.
Yes. We are gonna,
And
do you have
yeah,
your one-on-one scheduled?
no, I need to. I just knew I needed to look at my calendar to
Do that.
schedule that with you.
I
Mhm.
want you to take for the time being until we
Yeah.
meet, which will probably be this week. I'm gonna open up Friday for everybody. So we're gonna take the offer off the table. I want you to talk about like a hard time managing everything. With the content calendar, I didn't make it, those kind of things within 45 days until you're finished with your job. Okay.
Mhm.
Until we meet, can we take content calendar? Like, I mean, it'll literally be within like the next 3 days.
Mhm.
Got your Black Friday thing up.
Yeah.
I want, like, can you take the business off your plate mentally for the next 4 days?
If I must.
Like, because I know that your brain is like, but I have to focus on my business. I have to get it done.
Yeah, so that's why I actually did the Black Friday thing, because I was like, okay, I just finished up 2 lookbooks, felt really good about them. Now I'm just going to allot myself 4 opportunities to help people, and they're short, and they're like, I assume I could get through them
Mhm.
relatively quickly. So that's why I was like, oh, that's good for me. Like I'm gonna do this little campaign and maybe something towards like Christmas, and make them short and sweet, so I am not getting overwhelmed. I forgot what I was just going to say,
Well, I think that
but
your brain is really scared about, I want to find out what the thought is between your
yeah.
brain being scared about to leave 47 days till you leave. I think your brain is like, I have to focus on the business or else it's going to fall to pieces. And I want to show you
Yeah.
what the thought is like the business will fall to pieces and I won't have anything else. Like those are the thoughts that I want, because I want to show you
Mhm.
that it's not going to help you to think those thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, I also feel like people are gonna forget about me. Like I just went home for a week, and I was super busy. Like I was seeing family, and I'm trying to be like, that's okay for me to not post all the time. Like no one's gonna be like, where's Carrie? No one's thinking that. They're following other people. It's okay.
But
Um,
subconsciously you're scared of that.
yeah. Like I'm afraid that I'm gonna be irrelevant, and it's gonna take me longer to like, oh, I'm in a groove of posting, people see me, and then I'm like, man, I don't post for a week.
Yes. And I think that all of us can relate to that thought. It's like, why is it a problem? It'll take longer and then I'll take more energy. It's going to be even harder for me
Yeah.
to build back up.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I feel like I lose momentum.
I love that thought. Well, I don't, but it's like, I'm
Sure.
going to lose momentum. How does that feel when you think that thought?
Uh,
Like, what emotion comes up for you?
um, just like scared, disappointed, or like that I didn't plan better.
I think
Like,
the
oh, I could have planned. I could have used my resources and planned that.
I think the thought I didn't plan better is what's creating the disappointment. but I just want to show you from this thought I could lose momentum. It makes you feel scared. So what are you doing from this place of fear?
I'm like staying up late and trying to figure it out. I'm taking taking time away from my 9 to 5 to, I'm just like it's a juggling act.
Mhm.
And I'm staying up later, like I'm sick. That's why I sound like this. I
Mhm.
think just like kind of stress and trying to do all the things.
So guess what? That thought, I'm going to lose momentum. Your brain thinks it's going to keep the momentum, but you're going to make yourself so sick that you can't work. You're going to like,
Yeah.
the 9 to
And then
5
I'm just down for the count. Yeah.
So what happens is you lose momentum by thinking you're going to lose momentum.
Right.
So I want to tell you that like the juggling the plate situation, all that is not going to help you to keep momentum.
hmm
Right now, if you were, it's like when we're thinking, we're going to think about your offer. I promise we're going to think about like, but if you were to just repost that post about Black Friday until we meet, I
Okay.
want to tell you that would be plenty.
Okay. I did want to make a reel, but I won't if I have time.
Okay. I want you to take care of yourself first.
I
Okay.
will. I definitely will. I will do if I do something, it'll be very easy, very simple.
Like literally the story that you posted yesterday, like I said, make it a reel. I want you to say not anything fancy. I want you to save that video. I know what it
Uh-huh.
looks like, and I want you to repost that as a reel. Like that's all
Okay.
you need to do. Is just repost.
Wait,
that.
what? When you messaged me that, I was like, wait, why post it? Just so it shows up differently on Instagram?
I was just thinking, yeah, you already made this video. Why not?
I deleted it too on accident.
Of
I saved
course.
it. I made it on my phone, but that's okay. I could do another one that was easy.
Okay, well then don't repost the reel.
Okay.
Don't. And actually, if you go into your archive, you could see it if you didn't delete it. But if you did delete it,
Okay.
So
Okay.
I want you to think about if you want to keep up momentum,
Mhm.
what would you need to do?
Plan.
Okay.
I love the content calendar. It was like I can't remember last time I looked at it because it's been so long, but I loved it. Like it was I loved having the topics. It just felt very like Sarah mentioned, like it felt cohesive to like have each week a topic and it
And
was relevant.
we're going to do content calendar in 2 weeks when everyone does the content calendar.
Yes, I really liked that. And of course, like, like getting clients is also exciting. But then when I get clients, I'm like, wait, crap, I have to work on that before I can content plan. So if I have things planned, I don't have to think about it.
Right. And we will. I promise we will. We're going to make
Mhm.
sure it's like, but I think that in order to keep momentum, I think we're going to need, and I know you got to go, but I want you to chill out until we meet. I want you to know that all of
Okay.
that's coming. I promise. I'm giving other
Okay.
people stuff to do. I'm giving you an assignment not to do anything
Okay.
other than repost.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think it's going to take away from your momentum. But I
Okay.
love that. We're going to think about other options as well. We're going to brainstorm, but I
Mhm.
think this is a really good start for you. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Of
I
course.
just need my homework I need to do is like I need to like make my video. Like I wanna also do the things that are no, I need to.
No, I need to. I know. It's like I
I
because
want to.
okay. If you really, but I want you to wait until we meet because it might come out even better.
Okay. Okay, wait. That's good. That's good for me.
I know.
That's good for me.
Don't do anything until we meet. And it's gonna feel
Okay.
very comfortable, but I just want you to focus your efforts on work right now. And
Okay.
I promise you, we are going to meet and it's going to be awesome. And we can even do the video while we're meeting, but I just want you
Okay.
to focus now on you. Okay. Of
Got it. Yes, I can do that.
course. All right. I love you, lady.
Love
Christina,
you. Thank you so much.
of course. Christina and Shayna, I'm sorry I did not get a chance to coach you guys today. But if you guys would like some coaching, and anyone, that goes for anyone and everyone, post it in our group. Okay. I want you to post it in the group if you need coaching on something else, I'm going to make a spreadsheet. Thank you, Brian. For everybody to put in your information. So you're going to put in your name, you're going to put in your Instagram name, you're going to put in your Facebook, and I would prefer it to be your link so that people don't have to do any extra work to like look you up. Just like link, like literally put this link. And so people can just be like friend. And you don't have to post on Sarah's post or join Katie's group, but I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really great for us to do that for each other, to support each other. And other than that, we're going to be meeting to discuss your core 4. Are there any questions before we roll?
So for our core 4, or our core whatever pillars we
Core
have?
pillars, yes.
Yeah, we're talking about that on our one-on-one this week, so we should like try to figure it out before then.
You can
Really? Or are we doing it on the
take a
one-on-one?
minute to think about like what are the things that I teach, like things like that. But mostly we're going to talk about it in your one-on-one. And I've been able to crank out everyone's in the hour. So be thinking about it, start writing ideas down, and then when we meet, we're going to finalize it.
Mhm.
But I can get through it pretty fast. It's kind of insane. I like really love it. Of course, Katie. Are there any other questions? Cool. Okay. And then Deb mentioned in the group, are there any other ideas other than just creating a Facebook group? I would say right now you can have an email list. You can do webinars. There's so many ways to bring people into your business. But I found that with Facebook groups, it's just a pile of your hot leads that like are people that are just interested in your business. And I've really enjoyed that as a way to build my business. You don't have to, but it was a really easy thing for me to start implementing. And I started small by doing weekly coaching. So on Mondays from 11 to 12, feel free to join in, by the way, if you want a little extra coaching, it's free. And typically there's only been like one person each time. So feel free to see what that looks like if you want a little model of it. But I just found that people, when you're building a know, like, and trust factor for something like coaching that's a little less tangible, that like you can't, like if someone needs to get a haircut and buy that from a business, you can see, oh, I like the way this person cuts hair. For people to see the way that you coach, I think it's a little bit harder. So I found that like by having a whole hour to do coaching, I'm going to start, again, ideas that I'm going to take time to implement well later. I'm going to start like snipping parts of the Facebook coaching, and I'm going to make those reels so people can start to see that. But my private clients, they don't, unless they want to, they don't typically give me permission to cut out parts of our coaching. And I told all of you that I would keep our coaching confidential as well. So it's a place for people to see the way I coach without having to pay yet.
Is that the Facebook group that you invited us to?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll be definitely checking that out. So
Check it out, because I think it's like, it's just helpful. And I can also do like when I was doing the things leading up to my finishing the launch, I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was like, okay, like what I was saying to Katie, I was like, have you done everything? Have you really done everything? And she's like, I would post every single day in that Facebook group and talk about like just something that could help them. And I was like, okay, I posted a quiz, and I was like, what do you need help with in your business? And I was like, all the 6 pillars. I think I added time management in there. And I was like, great. So I just started doing like, that's an easy way to get engagement. Like, I think it's easier than in Instagram, because other people can see, oh, other people have questions, and it builds again, a little bit more of that know, like, and trust factor. There were 22 people that voted on it. Dorit, love it. So it's like, just a way for it. Again, like I've coached Dorit, I've coached Carrie in that group. I've coached, I don't think I've coached anybody else, but
what days do you do the coaching?
Mondays from 11 to 12.
Okay.
So feel free to join in, but
Okay.
I think that is a really easy way to get people to see the way you work.
Okay.
You're a master certified coach. I mean, like, I think it'd be good for people to see at like what you do, you know?
Mhm. Okay. Thank you.
Of course. Are there any other questions? So my to-do list, I'm also going to add a blank by the way, if you want to give somebody something like a manual, like if you want to share a document, this is just helpful for you for if you want to do something like in your Facebook group and you want people to make a copy of it, but you want everyone to have an individual copy. This is like a tech thing. You go anyone with the link, you go to share, anyone with the link, editor. Sorry, your faces are in the way. Editor, copy link. Like if you want to teach something in your Facebook group, this is obviously like far more advanced, but I'm going to do a post about like week 2 updates. And you put the link here and you see in this tiny, I'm trying to zoom in, there you go. In this tiny area where it says edit right here before the question mark, if you put the word copy here, literally just doing that, when people click on the cut link, it'll say, would you like to make a copy of manual blank? And that's what I do for if anyone's attended my webinars and things like that. That's how I get everyone to have an individual copy. It's just by doing that, like the simple social media systems. There's a printable version, but that obviously if you're printing it, you can get it, but it says make a copy here. So I include a little button for that. Yeah, that's just like a tactical thing, but I'm going to include the manual. I'm going to include a thought ladder one. And this is an example of a thought ladder. So feel free to take it for what it is. And I'm going to make manual thought ladder in spreadsheet that it'll be there for you. Yeah, there you go, Sarah. Good. I'm glad. That is like a quick little thing that you can use for anything that you want. So that is it for us today. I'm so proud of you. We talked about like everything. Like I thought that these coaching sessions, the like last little bit of it, I swear to you guys, I thought it was going to be like not as all in depth. Like I thought it was going to be like, we wouldn't get to like any like deep stuff. And we've gotten like so deep every single time, like of like the core of like why you're scared to fail. I'm like, I thought we were going to take a couple weeks. So I'm just really proud of like the level of vulnerability and way that everyone's showing up. Like, I really do feel like this is going to become such a close-knit family. And we can even start like an Instagram group of like sending each other like funny things. Like, I want this to feel like these are like your close friends. That's what I did for like a lot of the programs that I do. I like want to make it feel like a small community where all get to know each other. So these are going to be the things that are coming, but I'm really proud of everybody. If you have any questions, let me know and I will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.